Hello, and welcome. If you've ever found yourself saying yes when you really wanted to say no, or compromising your values to avoid conflict, then this message is for you. Let's talk about how to stop people-pleasing and, more importantly, how to take back your power. People-pleasing is a form of self-neglect, and it comes from a place of fear of rejection, fear of criticism, fear of being misunderstood. But what if I told you that your worth isn't tied to the approval of others? What if I told you that you don't have to sacrifice your peace, your joy, or your integrity just to make someone else comfortable? The truth is, you were never meant to be anyone's doormat. You have every right to stand firm in your own beliefs, desires, and boundaries. The first step in taking back your power is realizing that your value isn't determined by how others perceive you. When you constantly try to please others, you are essentially giving away your sense of self-worth. The more you seek approval, the more you reinforce the belief that you are not enough as you are. But this is far from the truth. You are complete, whole, and worthy, just as you are. The moment you recognize this, you begin to shift your focus inward, and that is where true power lies. One of the most powerful realizations you can have is that you can't control how others feel, think, or react. No matter how much you try to please someone, it will never guarantee their happiness. In fact, you might even end up resenting them for taking advantage of your kindness. People-pleasing comes from a place of insecurity, as if you need to gain others' approval to feel validated. But the reality is, external validation is fleeting and unreliable. The only validation that truly matters is the one you give yourself. When you make the decision to stop people-pleasing, it's essential to begin setting clear, healthy boundaries. Boundaries are not walls, they are an act of self-respect. By setting boundaries, you are honoring yourself and your needs, while also respecting others. You are saying, I deserve to be treated with respect, and I am worthy of my own time and energy. Learning to say no is one of the most empowering things you can do for yourself. And, saying no to one thing means saying yes to yourself. It means prioritizing your well-being and making sure you are giving from a place of abundance, not depletion. It's important to recognize that people-pleasing is often a learned behavior, shaped by past experiences. Perhaps you were raised in an environment where love and approval were conditional. Maybe you learned that in order to be loved, you had to earn it by doing for others. But now, as an adult, you have the power to change these patterns. You can choose to stop seeking validation through external sources. You can choose to stop living for others and start living for yourself. This is where true freedom lies, in the liberation from needing to please anyone but yourself. The next step is to develop a strong sense of self. Self-awareness is key. When you truly know who you are, what you value, and what you stand for, it becomes much easier to make decisions that align with your authentic self. You no longer have to second-guess your choices or worry about how others will perceive you. The more you connect with your inner truth, the more confident you become in your ability to make decisions that honor your values and desires. In this process, you may encounter resistance, both from others and from within yourself. It's natural to feel guilty when you begin setting boundaries or saying no. People who are accustomed to you putting their needs first might be taken aback or even try to manipulate you into going back to your old ways. But, this is your life, and you have the right to make decisions that support your growth, happiness, and peace of mind. When others push back, it's simply because they are not used to you standing up for yourself. Over time, they will learn to respect your boundaries, or they may fall away. Either way, it's a sign of your growth. You may also experience inner conflict. You might feel selfish or worried that you are letting people down. But let's challenge this belief for a moment. Taking care of yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. You cannot pour from an empty cup. If you are constantly giving to others at the expense of your own well-being, you will eventually burn out. The more you fill yourself up with love, peace, and self-respect, the more you have to give to others. When you stop people-pleasing, you start to live in alignment with your true self, and that is where your power lies. Another key aspect of this process is to stop seeking external validation. We live in a world that constantly pressures us to conform, to fit in, to meet certain standards. But the truth is, there is no one-size-fits-all definition of success or happiness. You get to define what that looks like for you. You don't need to compare yourself to others or measure your worth by how well you meet their expectations. Your life is yours to create, and you have the power to shape it according to your own desires, not someone else's. It's also helpful to reframe the way you view conflict. Many people-pleasers avoid conflict at all costs, fearing that it will result in rejection or loss of love. But conflict is not inherently bad. In fact, it can be an opportunity for growth and deeper connection. When you speak your truth, even when it's uncomfortable, you are showing others that you value yourself. You are also giving them the opportunity to respect your boundaries and to engage with you on a more authentic level. Conflict, when handled with integrity, can strengthen relationships and create mutual respect. Let's also talk about self-compassion. It's easy to be hard on yourself when you feel like you've let someone down or when you've struggled to say no. But it's important to note that change takes time. You're not going to stop people-pleasing overnight. It's a process, and there will be setbacks along the way. But each time you assert yourself, each time you set a boundary, you are taking a step toward reclaiming your power. Be kind to yourself along the way, and recognize that you are doing the best you can with the tools you have. At the end of the day, the most important relationship you will ever have is the one with yourself. When you learn to honor yourself, to respect your own needs, and to stop seeking validation from others, you unlock the true power that has always been within you. You no longer need to prove your worth to anyone because you already know, deep down, that you are enough. You are worthy of love, respect, and all the good things life has to offer. The path to reclaiming your power from people-pleasing isn't always easy, but it is a path worth taking. As you break free from the habit of always trying to meet everyone's expectations, you'll discover new layers of confidence, strength, and self-respect. One key to understanding this is realizing that your emotions and actions are yours alone to manage. No one else can dictate how you feel or how you should respond to situations. When you begin to own your emotions and take responsibility for how you react, you step into a place of true empowerment. A large part of overcoming people-pleasing is shifting the way you approach your relationships with others. If you are constantly putting others' needs before your own, you may be neglecting the most important relationship of all, the one with yourself. Recognizing this can feel like an awakening. You are not here to please everyone around you at the cost of your own happiness. You are here to live your life in a way that brings you fulfillment and joy. Learning to put yourself first isn't selfish, it's an act of self-preservation. So, let's take a moment and reflect on this. You don't need to please anyone but yourself. You don't need to seek approval from others. You are worthy of standing in your truth, of setting boundaries, and of creating a life that aligns with your values and desires. When you make the decision to stop people-pleasing, you take back your power, and that is the greatest gift you can give yourself. The journey of taking back your power starts with a simple choice, the choice to honor yourself and your needs. From that moment forward, your life will change in ways you never imagined. It's time to stop people-pleasing and start living for yourself. The power has always been within you, now is the time to claim it.